Hey, what's going on, guys? Mangum Son here, bringing you another Division 2 video. So, I'd like to thank everybody for getting me to 50 subscribers. 100 subscribers next goal. Alright, let's do this. So, in the background gameplay, you're going to see the Summoner build. It's a build that mainly focuses on getting out your drone and getting out your hive whenever it's necessary. You almost have a sense of infinite health when using this, because when you're out there in the field as a solo player, you're going to see that being overwhelmed is not the case with this build, because you have your buddy out there helping you out. I love that little dude. Goes out there, handles business. Anytime I need him to put down an enemy, he goes out there and he puts in work. Now, the background gameplay is showing the DARPA Labs mission. It's one of the most overwhelming missions in such a small space, with you trying to hold down territory. You have warhounds coming each and every way, and you also have heavies that spawn, purple bars that are highly aggressive, because Massive said that they tweaked the NPC aggression. I don't know if that's the case. If you ever used a shield out there and tried to go up against an enemy and then they run up and try to hit you and all that jazz, but I digress. So being able to control the map at any given point is just key to a solo player. This is on challenging right now, but it is also heroic viable within a group. Being heroic solo is also good for a group. At the end of the video, you're going to see some group gameplay. Right now, this is just solo gameplay and seeing how it works when you're against the odds and you're getting hit from every direction, because these grenaders out there, even though their accuracy's been tuned, these black tusks, they just have amazing accuracy with a grenade launcher like I've never seen before. But my little buddy, he'll always have my back. And then the heals, they don't stop. I'm always bringing this thing out. There's nothing that this build can't really handle when it comes to content. It's just the overall solo type of build that you would need. I wouldn't say go into a legendary with it, because legendary missions aren't meant to be played solo. But what you can count on is once that little guy goes down and there's nothing you can do about it, he's going to come right back to you. So why is it called the Summoner build? The Summoner build is because you're going to be getting your drone back and your hive back almost instantaneously. It's going to always be up. You're always going to have these two things out. So when we go inside the cooldown for the striker drone, my cooldown is 21.7 seconds. All right, we're not going to get into all the other stuff. I am skill tier 6, right? That's important. And the skill tier 6 is only acquired by having the tactician, because I'm not running all yellows. I have one red for a little bit of DPS, but the specialization for the tactician gives you one skill tier. So, and in my hive, it has a refill speed of 2 seconds with 36 charges, and the healing is important. 297,390 HP per heal, right? So breaking down the build, we have an LMG. The LMG can be run with Future Perfect, or it can be ran with Spike. Now, the reason why you want to run either Future Perfect or Spike is Future Perfect is the absolute best talent for this, because it's going to get you that one skill tier and put your skill into overcharge, and that's going to greatly increase the output of your drone and your heals. So the DPS here is the drone, and the heals here is going to be the hive. So when that cooldown ends up happening, don't worry about it. The cooldown is just a cooldown. The Future Perfect is to grant you extra on top of what you already do. So we go inside the assault rifle. The assault rifle is spec'd out with reformation and health damage. Now, the Police M4 is a really good assault rifle in my opinion. That it has good RPMs, it's pretty steady. It can be replaced with any of your favorite assault rifles, but an assault rifle is going to get you that range that an SMG couldn't get, and it's going to get you stability that an LMG couldn't get you. And then if you want to run some type of rifle, an M1A or what have you, if you want to be basic, you go ahead and do that. But the Police M4 is what I went with. Now, my backup here is going to be the M45A1 pistol. This pistol is going to give me in sync. So if a heavy starts pushing on me, or some type of purple bar or what have you, I'm gonna just go ahead and take out my pistol and start hitting them with in sync. and that's going to instantly boost my drone up to 15% skill damage and increase my weapon damage for 5 seconds. So as long as I keep laying on the trigger, the more damage that guy's going to take. So breaking down the foundation of the build, it's a hardwired set. Now, the 2-piece, 3-piece, you got that there, but what we're focused on here is the feedback loop, which is it reduces 30 seconds. It reduces 30 seconds off of a skill cooldown and increasing the total skill damage and repair by 10% for 20 seconds. Now that's both skill damage and skill repair, so whether I pull out my hive in the clutch, that's an extra 10%, or whether I pull out my drone, that's an extra 10% on top of what it's already doing. Now, I have faith in my little buddy out there. That's why I give it perfect tech support. Skill kills increases their total skill damage by 25% for 27 seconds. 27 seconds is a really long time, because every time he gets that kill, it's just going to go right back up again. Now, I'm a patient guy, so that's why I use kinetic momentum. When in combat, each skill generates a stack while active or not on cooldown, right? While active or not on cooldown, right? Stacks increase your total skill damage by 1% and a total skill repair by 2%, up to 15 stacks per skill lost when on cooldown, right? So let me just break that down in layman's terms for you. So what it means is that when the skill is active and not on cooldown, my skill damage is going to go up by at least 15% while it's out. So it's just going to constantly build up on some damage. But while my hive is just sitting there, it's going to build up that skill repair up to 30%. So I have the tech support for the 25% skill damage. Then I got an extra 15% on top of that. And then once I put that thing in overcharge, well, now we have a whole nother ball game here. So in overcharge, what the drone does when it's in overcharge, the striker damage goes up by 175% and it increases its health by another 420% health. Now with the current changes that they've already made, Title Update 10, the drone's health and the survivability of the drone have went up astronomically. So with that, your drone's going to stay out there longer. But in heroic content, you're going to see in the background gameplay at the end of the video in a group setting of what this is like, because when you get pushed to heroic content, that drone starts to take a beating. When it comes to my heals, it's going to push out the 297,000, but like I said, it's going to get that extra 30% from the kinetic momentum. And then using reformation, once I get a headshot, not a headshot kill, but when I get a headshot, increases skill repairs by 30% for 15 seconds. And that's just going to push my heals out even further than they were before. Now in a perfect world, I'd probably use in sync on my assault rifle and then switch to reformation for the pistol. So you're going to see what it's like in a group setting on heroic and what it means to play your role and to be a healer. So right now you're going to see the group gameplay for a heroic mission using this build, specializing with spike into it instead of future perfect. Now the spike instead of future perfect for the group build is used to go ahead and increase that DPS of your drone more so than it usually has, because you can't count on future perfect to push you above and beyond that, because you need the drone to get the kill. The heroic content ends up pushing out a lot of damage on that little dude. They just keep pressing on him and he goes down a lot. But using this build within the group, you're dropping the heals and you're getting your little dude back up. As you can see with the drone, he has a little icon on him, and that's the specialization at work there, preventing him from being EMP'd once every 60 seconds. Now once I'm in and out of combat, I feel like it comes back that way, because it's not really a clutch move that I like hinder on for the drone, but it is a good added effect that within range and while having that buff on him, he can take out one of the EMPs or take one of the EMPs from the Black Tusk or whatever and still be able to just stay out there and do damage. Now the hive with the drone works twofold. So the radius of the hive is extremely large. It's at least 30 meters big. The heals that they made from TU10 goes ahead and increases the tick speed at which the little things come out to heal you. Before it was mediocre at best, but now since the TU10 update, if you're at skill tier 6, those things are going to come out a lot faster, so you're able to provide more heals at a more effective rate. Now as you watch the health bars, right, I'm not putting out a lot of damage because my role here isn't DPS. That's going to be Crafty's job, and Crafty's going to put the enemies down, but I got to make sure that Crafty stays alive. So when my teammates need help, I drop the hive. If they start to get low, I'm putting out the heals. Look at that. Boom. Sanchez was about to use a med kit. Didn't need to. I handled it. And that's what I'm doing. So then when I need to go back to DPS, I pop out the little dude. Everybody can stay out in the open if they want to. But in heroic content, you want to kind of play it safe at the same time. Because even in situations to where the heals will come, that sometimes DPS you'll end up getting overwhelmed and then there's too many enemies and then some people are going to go down. But as a healer, you gotta make sure you're gonna go out there and that you can stay in the fight so that they can stay in the fight. As you'll see here, they start pressing on an enemy, they get down, I'm the healer, let's go get it. CC control, go ahead with that Banshee, and I'm picking the guy up. Crafty can continue doing what Crafty does, which is putting out DPS and staying within the heals. Even one of the more overwhelming enemy groups, the James Dragoff mission, has those big heavies that have the nail guns and everything. The heals are so effective in this group gameplay that Crafty can stay out of cover and still be able to take that damage. Look at that, I'm almost dead, dropped the hive, and I got instant heals back, no problem. Now with a big map like this, you do have to adjust for area control and figure out what's important, because if you don't stay on top of what's important, you're going to get overwhelmed by the enemy and there's nothing you can do about it. You can only heal who wants to be healed, because if you try to go out there to try to save a life for everybody, it's just not going to work out. You got to keep at least 2 or 3 of your teammates alive so that you're able to keep doing everything in your power to keep those heals going. By the end of the mission, I ended up with 115 million healed, so role complete. And that's how you play a healer and use the summoner build in the Division 2. If you guys like the content, go ahead, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.
Incoming backup request.